just pour my heart out, just sort of speak passionately towards my fellow brethren, and hopefully the sisters in the house will also take something away from this message. Now, my life changed about 24 years ago. I happened to be attending a men's conference hosted by then it would have been Hear the Word Church in Harare, Zimbabwe. And the guest speaker there was Dr. Edwin Lewis Cole. He made a statement, such a profound statement that I still hold even till today. He said, being a male is by birth, but being a man is by choice. Now, if you take a moment to just process that, you're male by birth. That has got nothing to do with you. You have no involvement in whether you are male or female. So by accident of birth, I'm a man. But to be called I'm male, but to be called a man, it is a choice. It is a choice of the kind of lifestyle that I choose to have, the quality of decisions that I make, the quality of commitments that I make is what people will turn around and say, he is a man indeed. So we have people that are male, but there are people that are men because of the quality of decisions, the quality of their lifestyle. So after hearing this statement, like I say, 24 years ago, it brought me to think, am I living my life by my own choices, or am I living my life by default? A lot of us, our lives are on default. We bamba zonke. We just turn up. Whatever happens, happens, and we live. Now, one of our greatest poets and great musician of yesteryear, one Robert Nesta Marley, I think popularly known as Bob Marley, I think that's what we call him. In one of his lyrics, he says, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, for none but ourselves can free our minds. Now, I think if I'd ask people to sing, this emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, we would know this song. But have we ever taken time to understand what is mental slavery? Why would we need to be emancipated from mental slavery? The Bible makes a very profound statement. I think let's go back to the Bible. Just allow me for a minute. See, the book of Proverbs, the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. In essence, we are the product of our thoughts. You and me are a product of how we think. So if I think bad about myself, chances are I turn out bad. If I think good about myself, it goes the same way. So it means however my mindset is, that is how I am. And this is where the wars begin. See, because this statement by itself, when understood by the forces of this world, what it simply means is, for the religious people, they want to control your mind. Books have been written, Bibles, Quran, name the various religious books. All these books are trying to do is begin to shape your thinking. So religion is trying to shape how you think. Because if they can shape how you think, then they can shape how you behave. They determine what kind of person you are. But it's not only just the religious people that are after your mind. The politicians have come in as well. We've heard the famous mantra from the Americans, hearts and minds. They had all the biggest firepower when they went to Iraq. They could have bombed the country into the Stone Age. But the one thing that they prioritized was hearts and minds. Because what they realized is it's easier to control people if you have their hearts and minds than if you're only holding a gun. So I want you to understand the power of your mind. It's that important. Even the business world is not spared this battle. The business world is fighting for your mind. Ever since early last century, businesses have started employing armies. I mean, armies of marketing, PR, and advertising people, all in a bid to control your mind. The whole battle is about your mind. Advertising is trying to speak to your mind. I want you to understand how important your mind is in this world. Religions are set up just to control your mind. Political parties are set up just to control your mind. Businesses are setting up departments just to control your mind. Wars are fought because someone wants to control your mind. My question is, everyone else is fighting for your mind. What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing? Slavery, colonialism. Oh, that was about mind control. With slavery, with colonialism, all they wanted you was to believe that you were inferior as a Black person. The day that they achieved that, it was easy. They didn't need, you see, when they went out to colonize nations, they didn't need millions of guns. The British did not have enough bullets to kill everyone in all the countries that they wanted to control. But the one thing that they managed to do was, in the name of civilization, they began to control the minds of Africans. They managed to bring in an inferiority complex. As soon as we believed that we're inferior to these people, they did not need to shoot us anymore. We gladly came and we bowed down because they controlled our minds. Who is controlling your mind? We talk about, oh, I want to succeed. I know we go to churches, we go to some of these powerful motivational meetings, and we're told you can become great, you can become a millionaire, you can become all sorts. You come away from there pumped up, hyped up, but it all fizzles out. Why? Because you're not in charge of your brain box. As soon as you come away from that meeting, everything is set around you to distract you. As soon as you come to that meeting, you're on Facebook, and Facebook begins to tell you something totally unrelated to what you're listening. You've come out of church, next thing is you are concerned about what is happening in whoever's life on Facebook. They have set up celebrities to entertain us, to keep our minds occupied. Away from focusing on yourself, you spend your day worried about who is managing Manchester United. Instead of worrying about how you're going to progress your family for the next generation, you're concerned about what is happening to the next music celebrity. We are a commodity. You see, what I want to talk to someone that's on Facebook. Facebook is not free. Facebook, they're actually selling you. They make money because of you. You are the commodity on Facebook, not Facebook. Facebook has convinced you that you need to spend the day looking at it. The more you look at it, the more money they make. You are the product of Facebook. Your mind. So today I want to speak towards emancipating your mind. You can only become the product of your thoughts. See, here's the process. If you sow a thought, you reap an action. If you sow an action, you reap a habit. Sow a habit, you reap character. You sow a character, you get destiny. So your destiny is determined by your thoughts. If your thoughts are not engaged positively, there is no way you get a positive destiny. You cannot operate above your level of thinking. It doesn't work. That's why someone goes to train to be a doctor, so that they can begin to operate at the level of a doctor. So the challenge that I'm putting before you today is, what is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you believe you want to achieve? How are you taking ownership of your mindset to prepare you for that which you want to achieve? We all have 24 hours in a day. But in those 24 hours, what thoughts are you processing in your mind? What is beginning to influence your thoughts? I'll give you a very simple example. Okay, I want you to understand. People say your thoughts attract things to you. Let me flip it on you. Let me get you to understand. Okay. Right now, you most probably have, no one has been thinking about, maybe, let me say, the Tesla car. Okay, you haven't been thinking about it, but if we discuss right now about the beauty of driving a Tesla, how efficient it is and everything else, I guarantee you tomorrow when you're driving around, you begin to see how many Tesla cars are out there in the market. Every road you drive on, you begin to identify Teslas. Is it because these Teslas are not here today? They are there, but you didn't notice them. Why? Because how our minds work is, when you're walking down a street, you are seeing images. Now, all these images are recorded in your subconscious. But only when you begin to, when your consciousness is looking for something, does your subconscious tell you about it. So in essence, you've been seeing these cars every day. I think you've noticed, anytime you buy even a new pair of shoes, suddenly everywhere where you go, someone's wearing that pair of shoes. Why? Now you're conscious of those shoes. So anytime you walk around, your subconscious that used to see this shoe and ignore it begins to tell you, red shoe, Tesla. So now you're conscious of certain things. Your mind is receiving so much information constantly. Advertisers, they know this. They bombard you with adverts. Some of them you don't even notice them, but you've seen it. What they know is they put an advert in your mind. The day you turn up at the supermarket and you see the product on the shelf, your subconscious reminds you of that product and you begin to want to buy it. Processing in your mind. At church, they preach to you on a Sunday because they know in the week you are going to encounter the situations that they're talking about. And your subconscious is going to begin to remind you of that message. And you begin to respond on the basis of the message that you're given. Now, there's such a power that we have in our minds. But the sad part is we do not control that power because we are not deliberate in using the power of our minds. We let other people manipulate our minds. We let them control us. We let the advertisers control us. They've convinced you and me that wearing a 500-pound pair of trainers is a good idea. They've convinced you and me that wearing expensive gear will make you lookable. I mean, even till today, I still want to find that committee that sits down to discuss my dressing. I'm always under pressure. There are people who talk. I want to know those people that will talk because I'm not wearing a tie in church. I want to know those people that will talk because I'm not dressed nicely. But it's a conditioning that's in our minds. So we put ourselves under a lot of pressure to keep up with the Joneses. Why we're under pressure to keep up with the Joneses is because our minds are colonized. Sorry if anyone is not from Zimbabwe, please just bear with me a moment. I'm going to talk to something that Zimbabweans carry. There's a term, it's a derogatory term that we use for each other. We don't call each other nigger, but we call each other my boy. Okay? That is a very racist term because boy was used by the white people during colonialism to refer to our ancestors. My grandfather, a man with graying hair, was called boy. Come here, boy. Now we take that and we begin to label ourselves. So when you are late for meetings, you are told, cheap boy. When you do a substandard job, cheap boy. Anything that is negative is called cheap boy. And we're happy to do this. It's a slave mentality. You walk into a meeting late with a big smile on your face. Shame on you. That's no cheap boy. That's a cheap boy mentality. If you do not value time, you make a commitment, get there on time. Slaves cannot be late to work. People that are late for church are not late for work because they've got a slave mentality. They're afraid of the master at work. But at church, no, it doesn't matter. Any other meeting, they will turn up whatever time. I remember going to a wedding years ago. I won't mention this, but I got there as an MC for a wedding. The groom's family were all there. They were white. They were waiting for an hour. I as MC was entertaining the guests. Then my people turned up. I was embarrassed. 1 hour later, no apology, singing on the bus. I thought these people have no shame. Chiboy mentality. We are poor because of Chiboy mentality. It's one word that you and me need to take out of our vocabulary, take out of our mindset, take out of our thinking. We need to stop looking down on ourselves as a people. Begin to embrace a positive image. Begin to pass on a positive image even to your own children. You see, I want you to look at your life as a ship that is at sea. Now, when those ships sail, they sail in stormy weather. There's winds blowing left and right in every direction. Now, if the ship's captain just puts up a mast and they sit there, they'll end up anywhere, including a shipwreck. But the ones that know what they're doing, before they set sail, they have a destination. What they do is they begin to pick the winds that are going to push them in the right direction, and they harness the wind. In your life, you have a choice. There's enough information to change your thinking. But what are you picking? The kind of information that will take you to your destination. Are you picking the kind of information that speaks to your vision? Or are you just picking up any information because it is available? I said, sow a thought and reap an act. But you cannot think about what you don't know. So what's most important is what stimulates our thoughts. What we see, what we read, what we hear, our associations. If you spend your time watching certain programs, you begin to behave in a certain way. I've got friends that can argue about football I mean, they could argue till the cows come home. They know every football player. They know every football manager. They will criticize every play on football. And I think to myself, there is wasted energy. Their mind is invested in things that do not profit them. If they took the same attention to detail, same passion that they have for football, and try and say, look, I want to begin to operate in my own business. Harness that for your own good. No. What we want to do is we spend our days entertained. When Ginimbi died, I didn't realize people knew that much. I didn't even know who he was. But people were so invested. To what end? There's no profit. The same amount of time that you just spent watching EastEnders, you could have done an online course by now. You'd have a degree in something that improves your mind. The challenge I want to lay before us today is, can we make deliberate steps? See, the Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. Be ye successful by the renewal of your mind. Change the story of your life by the renewal of your mind. If you're going to lose weight, losing weight does not start in the gym. It does not start with the diet. It starts in the mind. When you can begin to convince yourself of the positives, of the need for you to go out there and lose weight, you make, in your mind, you begin to program the right decision making. You begin to tell yourself, no more donuts, no more midnight snacks. When you begin to talk that way to yourself, you find it's a lot easier to stop. Your mindset. Today, I just want to speak to our minds. I just want us to begin to make deliberate decisions to program our minds the right way. I want you to begin to fight to liberate your own thinking. All the most successful people you find in the world, they have a mind of their own. They are thought leaders in themselves. If you do not decide to be a thought leader, you're going to be a follower, which means you will never become you. You will never achieve the best version of yourself. So what is influencing you? Friends? I like friends. I'm a very friendly person. I think everyone that's associated with me, you know, I'm good for company. I'm good for a good laugh. But I might talk to a lot of people, but not a lot of people are my friends. When I count friends, I can count them maybe on the fingers of one hand. The friends are the people that I allow to influence my thinking. Who do I talk to? See, one of the things that I'm deliberate about, none of my friends is poorer than me. All of the people I consider friends, they've got more money than me. They are richer than me. Because they are richer than me, it keeps me inspired. It keeps my thought processes focused on my success. I do not have enough time in a day for a friend who wants to tell me the pros and cons of the Premiership. I do not have enough time of day for a guy who wants to tell me the pros and how to get away with cheating on his wife. There's no upside for me with such a friend. But I have a friend, I have a time of day for a person that challenges me to think myself to becoming a better version of myself. What book have you read of late? I mean, I know we read the Bible every day, but the Bible is not all that you need. Surely, I mean, anyone will be logical enough to know, what have you done to improve yourself towards your aspired goals? What book have you read? Nowadays, the beauty is you don't even need to be opening a physical book. It could be an audio book. How have you applied yourself to develop your mindset? We will win when our minds are in the right place. So I want to say, to change your life, to bring success in your life, you need to change your mindset. You need to change your thoughts. If you are a product of your thoughts, what kind of person are you? If you are not happy today with who you are, change your thoughts. Change your thinking. It's that logical. If you're not happy with the success you're enjoying today, look at your thought life. What do you spend a lot of time thinking about? What are you programming your mind to respond to? Remember, if you sow a thought, if you sow a thought in your head, you reap an act. If you sow an act, you get a habit. Sow a habit, you're going to reap character. Sow character, destiny. Change your destiny by changing the way you think. Change the way you think by changing the way you spend your time, what stimulus you take in. I want to challenge someone today. Change what you read. Change who you spend time with. Change what you watch on TV. Change how much time you spend in front of that TV. Saying throw away your phone? No. We're addicted to our phones. But what are we addicted to doing on our phones? It's a tool. Use it. What are you getting from Facebook? I mean, what are you getting from Facebook? What are you getting from Instagram? I'm not saying don't go on Facebook. No. What are you getting? What are you using it for? Is it a tool? Or is it a distraction? Is Instagram a tool or a distraction? Is YouTube a tool or a distraction? In and of themselves, they're not bad. But the issue is, are they a tool or are they a distraction? It's your choice. I do what I do today because, like I said, 24 years ago, someone told me I am a male by birth, but I am a man by choice. I am who I am by choice. I didn't choose to be a Khumalo, but I define who Raymond Khumalo is. I refuse to let society tell me who I am. I refuse to be defined by my skin color. I refuse to be defined by my accent. I refuse to be defined by the fact that I've got hair or no hair. I choose to live by my rules. I choose to define my own success. One of the greatest tragedies, when I'll speak to my fellow Black people, is to start off with, there was racism that was overt. There were places written, Blacks are not allowed. There were decisions that said Black people are not allowed in here. But those signs have since gone. And guess what? We still don't go in those places because we've already convinced ourselves Black people are not allowed in there. You can't even apply for a job because you've told yourself, no, I can't, they don't allow, I don't think a Black person can become a managing director of kids. I don't think a Black person can become prime minister of Great Britain, and yet we're the black president running America. We set ourselves limitations. To my sisters, who says you can't get the job because you're a woman? You are the one that's putting the mindset on yourself. I have said to myself, up until they tell me specifically to say, you can't come in because you're black, I'm going to keep opening every door in front of me. I'm going to keep going for opportunities. Up until they tell me no, then I can fight the no. I will not tell myself no. It's a mindset. I married the most beautiful woman because I had to change my mindset to say, you know what? I'm going to ask. If she says no, she's not going to call the police. So I stepped forward and asked, and guess what? Today I'm a happy man. What mindset is holding you back? What have you failed to do because you've just told yourself in your own mind it doesn't work? What job have you failed to apply for? What opportunity have you let pass because in your mind you convinced yourself it will not work? Today we have an opportunity to change our minds. I'll end by quoting scripture again from the book of Romans. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I hope I've spoken to someone today and you can reach out for your opportunities. To my fellow men, you are a male by birth, but you're a man by choice. Choose to live a successful life. Thank you very much, Same Difference, for having me today.
Wow, thank you once again, Mr. Ray Khumalo, for availing yourself for such an important task, unlocking value and talent within our community and stimulating and relighting that spark wherever you are, whatever stage in life you are. Now we just want to open the floor for some conversations, for some comments. I know there was a lot of chat traffic going in there. I'll just read a few. Is it being recorded? Yes, it's being recorded, and the link will be sent out from Facebook and YouTube. What else has been written here? A lot of people were agreeing with you, just reiterating and reinforcing what you have been talking about. Somebody said something, no more donuts. So it looks like you have touched a sensitive nerve there. So hopefully after this conversation, someone will relook their diet plan and how they want to go about it. Rumbi Salom said, wow, true, who is controlling your mind? The more you look at it, the more they make money. I think that was in reference to the social media and TV. Mary Olga Brewer, hands up, some fire emojis. So guys, just to make sure that I'm not speaking to myself, if you really enjoyed the session, just indicate by something, emoji, showing yourself on camera, thumbs up, or anything, so we know we are on the same wavelength. Yes, Ray Khumalo. Hey, by default, you've got no choice there. SHX. Thank you. I'm gonna pick on Mrs. Chamboko. How did you find the conversation? Any comments? Any footnotes? Anything that you took away from the talk?
Okay, thanks very much. I thought it was really fantastic and very timely. And everything that Ray said, thank you so much, Ray. You've really reignited some things that are so deep, and we really need to conform ourselves to as much as possible. As long as our mindset is in the right direction and we're not seeing ourselves as my boy and we're not, looking down on ourselves. If we keep on doing that, nothing's going to change. So I'm really excited with what you've shared. Thank you so much. And I don't want this fire to just burn today. Like you said, most times we hear messages or we hear things that are so powerful. Once we've gone back to our lives, we've forgotten again. So it really needs to be keeping on top of it, reading constantly. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Ray, from House of Destiny Ministries, to everyone. And one thing I like about this talk that we've had today is so up. It's coming right at the tail end of 2021. What has been a difficult season, and we don't know what the future holds. But as we start to buy new diaries, as we start to prepare for 2022, this is the sort of word that we need to reignite that fire. So I would say once we share the link, let's have a replay of it as well, so that it helps you calibrate your goals for 2022. I can see a hand here from Priscilla. Yes, Priscilla Mishonga, you want to add something? Yes, thank you. You can go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, I didn't raise a hand. If I did, it was by error. But anyway, thank you so much, Ray, for accepting our invitation and for taking your time to teach us. And definitely you have opened our mindset. And what I really enjoyed about your talk or your teaching, it is about the way that you touched on different wavelengths of life, be it spiritual, be it social, be it educational. You touched from every angle. And the Bible verses that you have been sharing, they've come to light. You start to have a revelation and understand it from a different angle, from a church setting. But thank you so much. It is really appreciated.
Thank you.
Mr. C, I think you're on mute.
Thank you. Kevin Mukuzwaza, I can see any thoughts to the conversation? If you are in a position to speak.
Sorry, I was frantically trying to unmute myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Fantastic. No, I just echo the sentiments that have been shared before, which is quite eye-opening. I think we take for granted some of the inputs and stimulus that we receive, and controlling what you're exposed to requires vigilance and discipline. And the impact of that is long-lasting, from your inputs to your habits to your destiny. So powerful stuff. So no, really great conversational items. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And you know what? This talk was being delivered by one of our own Muboy. And when you gave the illustration about your hair, I didn't know whether it was a haircut or it was by design. So definitely that's one thing that stood out. So for those who want to engage, Ray is available, very affable fella. I've known him for a short period, but I think it feels like as if I've known him forever. Please, if you want to get in touch with him, I will share his socials and his details, so that you can also add value to your organization. Now, today we don't have a quiz, but I've got one picture item. It's called Guess the Picture, and all you have to do is make use of the chat box. Whoever gets it right first wins a £25 gift voucher, which will be sent out soon after this show. So I'm just gonna share on the screen. So be ready, train your eyes on the screen. It's coming on now. Right, can you see it? 1 second, I'm gonna share it now. Okay, can you see my screen? Guess the picture, what it stands for. First one to type, I'm looking at the chat box. First one to get it right, get £25 gift voucher. Right. Okay, keep typing. Any more suggestions? So I'm looking at the timestamp here on the screen. I'll be able to tell who's on top or who answered first. So yeah, Simon Cox has responded. Farai, Kevin, who else? Anyone for any more before we shut it down?
My internet's slow, so I should get a couple of seconds off.
Oh, That's fine. Say it depends if your answer was correct. That's what it boils down to. So okay, I'm ready to call it because I know some of your dinner or some of you have to go to parties and whatnot. So our winner for the quiz, Ice Baby, is the correct answer. Simon Kaggs. Congratulations.
Oh, congrats, Simon.
He was the first on the mark. Thank you so much. You have won £25 gift voucher. That's all we had for today. So before you go, Ray, I just want to grab you for the final time. You mentioned something about youngpreneurs. Do you just want to shed some light, 2 minutes, and then we call it a day? Thank you.
Okay. Oh no, thank you very much. Right, Youngpreneurs is a program that we initially piloted this year, and we're going to be running again from January. This is a program that speaks to young people ages from 13 all the way through 19, and they come in on a program where we will talk to them about business. We'll explain to them what entrepreneurship is, what's involved, how to come up with a business plan, how to evaluate a business plan, how to write a business plan, how to make a pitch for a business plan. And at the end of the course, they'll actually be able to come up with their own idea and make a pitch for it. And they'll also get good mentorship from some of the business people that we have within our community. Last year, we did it as a virtual course, and I think we will also be putting in virtually. So yes, hit me up via my Facebook page. I think just Ray Khumalo. That's the best way to find me. And let's talk about it. If you want to bring your young people along, it will be a great opportunity. Not all of them will end up business people, but I think they deserve an option in life. They deserve an option to actually get to see what it is entailed in being a business person. In case they want to choose that as a career option, you might as well be able to support them.
Awesome, thank you. And we are also a wedding MC, not a wedding as such, but a master of ceremonies for any function. Really, are quite
for any function. Yes, definitely. Thank you for plugging me there. I didn't want to do too much